Hello, SHOWBIZ. Here we are.
Welcome to SHOWBIZ.
As is always the way, Nadia's got some Kim Kardashian news.
Oh, I love this. So Kim Kardashian, for her 40th birthday, has received from one of her friends, Kim Monopoly. Yeah, Kim Monopoly. Can you guess what Kim Monopoly is?
So is this a game you can buy?
No, this is a custom-made board game from Monopoly, except it's Kim's life. And I love it. So, you know, very rich friends, obviously. So this is from her friend Simon Huck. Never heard of him before. I don't know who he is. So she's got things like, it's all done in her signature nude tones.
Right. What are nude tones?
Well, have you seen her Skims? You know, her underwear. It's all like
I've seen
brown,
your skids.
brown, beige, cream. That's the
Right.
only colours she has. So the
Right.
whole board's been done in those colours. It's a brilliant, I mean, God, what do you give the woman who's got everything, you know?
Her own board game, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I know, it's just genius. So they've got things like momager tax.
Oh, right, like manager, but she's the mom.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but instead of the, what's the community tax?
Yeah.
She just said, oh my God, Simon just got me the coolest gift ever. It's Kim Monopoly.
I mean, you have to go to those kind of tailored gifts at her level, don't you?
You really do. So it has her first apartment on it. It's got the first house that they ever filmed Keeping Up with the Kardashians in. Momager Tax. The first house that she bought, her dad's house, her best friend Alison's house, the hospital I was born in, Skims headquarter, my dad's business, Hidden Hills. Literally, guys, I'm dying. So she said, so the little what are they called? The counters. They're made in a weight, a TV, a camera, hashtag. Oh, they've still got the boot in there though. I think that should have been a Louis Vuitton. Oh look, a little camera.
What do you think your counters would be?
My counters would be
a dog, a saucepan.
A dog, a saucepan, a phone.
A television,
a theatre, a mini theatre.
Yeah, television for EastEnders.
My MasterChef trophy.
MasterChef trophy, that'd be good.
MasterChef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I do think that's so cute though. And look, there's the, what's that, Kim Monopoly. So instead of the
Chance and community chest.
I wonder what happens if they go to...
Oh, look, one of the community chest cards to make him laugh was the Dr. Urian injection fees. That's funny, isn't it? That's very clever.
I reckon eventually, in a couple of years, they will have... Some company will be doing this for people, personalised Monopoly board, don't you think?
Me and the girls loved those ones. Like Kiki had the Stranger Things one, which was really cool. And then I remember your nephew Zach had one where they had the first one that had a card.
Yeah.
You didn't have cash.
Yeah, that's right.
You dealt with a card and you put your number in and all that kind of stuff. Credit cards. Well, Dominic West, who's been in the press an awful lot recently because he's been snogging Lily James in Rome.
And he definitely was.
Yeah, and I don't think we can sort of say, oh, because I was sort of steering clear of this in case it was being misread or misrepresented or it was the press wanted to construct something. But no, he's as one journalist calls him, he's a taxi-like man. Lights on, I'm available for hire. Anyway, so he's been having a bit of a fling with Lily James, which is curious because Lily James used to go out with Matt Smith, who used to play Prince Philip, and Dominic West is to play Prince Charles in the final seasons of The Crown.
So are we in the arena of incest?
I wasn't going to take us there, but I think we potentially are. I mean, we're potentially in the arena of inbreeding, which is kind of appropriate, I think, for royalty, is it, in some sense? So Dominic West, I mean, I suppose, I did wonder whether him being cast in this part was an opportunity for him to sort of say, I've simply been researching the role.
Maybe.
And trying to kind of,
that
understand what it means to be a philanderer.
Ooh.
With Camilla Parker Bowles, Lily James being Camilla Parker Bowles. But I think that's a bit of a tangential justification myself. What's happening with the Biebers?
Well, nothing amazing actually, but it just struck me. I just wanted to have somebody looking gorgeous, looking glamorous, in a gorgeous dress.
Right.
And Bieber's wife, Hailey, is absolutely gorgeous. They seem to have a really lovely marriage. I think they both have religion, they have the Bible, so they bond, I think, over the Bible, I believe.
So it's not bondage.
It was just another world because she's in this backless black leather dress.
That's hard to say.
I know it is.
Nice.
At the after party for the Grammys, and you think, after party? This is a world we now know nothing about. There are no parties.
Oh, they are at an after party.
They're at an after party.
Socially distanced after party.
It must have been. I'm sure it was.
He looks like he's being told off in that photograph.
Look at her green nails.
I know.
But I just thought she looked gorgeous. I thought it's a chance to say party.
It's
There's
a chance
no such
to
thing
say
as say
Bieber.
parties anymore. She is. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. And they've got God, which makes them even more.
Oh, look at that on her finger.
Look at that tattoo. Oh, what does it say? J.
J
I
on
thought it was
her
an
ring
F.
finger.
Looks like an F.
That's lovely,
It
isn't
looks
it?
like a J.
I suppose which... Oh,
Yeah.
does look a bit like an F.
It looks like an F. That's an
Oh
F.
my God, it's an F.
It's not for Justin. Jeff Bridges, the dude. The dude.
Oh, this is so
The man,
sad.
the dude from The Big Lebowski, 70, has revealed that he's been diagnosed with lymphoma, and he's put out a message in the manner of the dude, saying, as the dude would say, new shit has come to light, he tweeted on Monday evening. He does say that the prognosis is good. I don't know what that means. I love him. He's gravelly.
Well, it could be a very slow growing. It could be they've
Yeah.
caught it very early. So
I'm starting treatment and we'll keep you posted on my recovery. There is speculation. We don't know whether it's, what's that other type of lymphoma? Is it Hodgkin's lymphoma? Yeah. There's just something about him that's just deeply, deeply cool, and we wish the dude all the best. And I'm afraid I've got one other story kind of alongside that. Is Robert Redford's son tragically has passed away after battling liver cancer. He was just at the age of 58, and he had 2 liver transplants. He was he was a documentary filmmaker, and I didn't realise his first documentary film was, we should go to it, was all about living with dyslexia, because apparently his son had quite severe dyslexia. Robert Redford's son, so Robert Redford's grandson. But yeah, they've approached Robert Redford for comment, but he's in too much pain to be able to talk about it. It's just tragically sad, isn't it? You know, when you see, Robert Redford at 84. I mean, I often wonder when you look at someone like Robert Redford, you imagine being the son. They look alike, but imagine being the son of someone who's so spectacularly successful in that way. I mean, it must be very hard to live in the shadow of a parent that's that all-consuming, because he's the true meaning of the old star system, isn't he?
God, look the way they've aged in exactly.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Got wrinkles in identical places. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, how terribly
So that's
sad.
tragically sad. Yeah.
Oh, this is Jada Pinkett Smith. This is a trailer from the latest episode from her show Red Table on Facebook, Red Table Talk, and they're talking about non-consensual sex.
Right.
And Jada asks her mother, "Have you ever had non-consensual sex?" And she says, "Yes." And she said, "And it was with your father." And Willow is at the table as well.
Oh my
and you see
God.
her. So Jada Pinkett Smith says again. So just to reiterate, you had non-consensual sex with my father. And it's just like a bit of a jaw-dropping moment to just be told that on screen. I mean, one hopes there was a conversation beforehand, because I think that must have been an awful lot. I mean, Willow's only a young girl.
There's a lot of huge bombshells on this Red Table Talk.
There really is.
I mean,
there really is. And then she goes on. Now, since Jada Pinkett Smith's father did eventually commit suicide with an overdose.
Right.
And her mother has spoken before about the brutality within their marriage. He was an alcoholic, and he would, beat her. He beat her up, left her with a black eye. He tried to throw her over banisters. I mean, just horrific. Absolutely
Very troubled
horrific. Very troubled man. But as Jada said, and the mum said, when he wasn't drunk, when he wasn't in the grip of addiction, he was a very different man and a very caring man.
That's the Jekyll and Hyde of addiction, isn't it? It's terrible, because people often ask, why do you stay with someone if they're so overtly like this? Well, of course, the problem with the addict or the alcoholic or whatever is they're not always like that.
Yeah,
it's only moments.
They're not all like that all the time.
No, not at all.
I thought that was a really sad story, but I mean, I'll have to watch. Obviously, this was just the trailer. I'll be interested to see where they're going to go with that.
Yeah. Difficult. Like you say, difficult news to hear first time. I pulled this story only because it's everywhere at the moment. And I don't know if you remember John Leslie, Blue Peter, former This Morning presenter, sort of caught up in that whole #MeToo sort of moment. I think it was before Me Too, though, wasn't it? He was charged with various issues around sexual assault. Well, another case was brought against him, and he's just been found not guilty. They decided in just 23 minutes. And I don't know, there was something about this story that just reminded me that, for all of, and there are photos of Anthea Turner and his Blue Peter co-stars sort of celebrating the verdict at the end. Now, it's easy, of course, it's reprehensible, anything that John Leslie did in the past, and it's absolutely, right that he was charged, what have you. It's that terrible thing, isn't it, that even though he was guilty of doing one thing, doesn't necessarily mean he was guilty of doing everything. it's important to remember that you have to deal with all of these on a case-by-case basis. And, you know, I think it's very hard. I imagine it's very hard for someone who has been found guilty of one thing for it not to be assumed, or for them to live their lives thinking everyone just thinks they're guilty of absolutely everything that's thrown at them. And this is the unenviable task of sort of prosecutors and in these cases where if there is a sort of systematic sort of philandering or bad behaviour by someone, you know, mud sticks even with a not guilty verdict. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, it's everywhere at the moment, and I'm just curious to know, what do you guys think about the John Leslie story?
Oh, this makes my heart ache. Chrissy Teigen has been photographed out shopping, which I'm sure she wasn't pleased about, but they've just not photographed her. After, I think this is the first time she's been seen out and about since she lost her baby. And she said, you know, we're just quiet, but we're okay. So I love her and I love John Legend. They are such a lovely couple, and I love them on Instagram because they do keep it real. They're very funny, they're very smart, they're very loving. And, you know, I think her first two children with IVF, you know, it's very long for children, all of them. And she must just be absolutely heartbroken. So
a very slow recovery. Isn't
it? It's good to see that she's able to be out and about. And yeah, we just send her and him lots of love. Yeah,
we do, absolutely. They got a lot of stick from certain people for putting out the photos, and I just thought, however someone wants to deal with something is entirely their right.
And the thing is, you know, we've suffered baby loss ourselves, and you know, you do very, very strange things. You know, you can behave in erratic ways. I'm not saying what she did was erratic, but I think to just stand in judgment of people after they've had a loss like that is just...
Why? So there you go, guys. A sort of weird mixed bag of sort of pleasant and not very pleasant.
Yeah.
Do subscribe.
Kimopoly was the best moment.
Kimopoly was a nice moment, yeah. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and we'll be doing more showbiz over the next weeks.
Yeah, lots of love.